The Yankees sweep the two-game set at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox, and these were two hard-fought wins, very close games, and you knew that the Red Sox were certainly not going to back down against the Yankees. It's been a rough year for the Red Sox, but Fenway Park specifically has been really, really challenging for the Yankees. They didn't do well there earlier, this season, really within the last few months. But the Yankees, just in general, they are turning things around, and that's good to see. They are rounding back into form a little bit. I believe they're 8-2 in their last 10 games, so it's really good to see. The Yankees are now 6 games up on the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East, and that's the team that you have to look at in terms of being the bigger threat. I had alluded to this last episode, but this Blue Jay Ray 5-game series, it's still currently ongoing. The Blue Jays have taken 3 of the first 4. I really think, it's safe to say, with 19 games to go, that the Tampa Bay Rays are not going to catch the New York Yankees. But the Toronto Blue Jays can. And the reason for that is because they still have a 3-game series in Toronto. But the big point here is that the Yankees are doing a good job, and where things were looking a little bit close, just as recently as this weekend, the Yankees have kind of, gotten out of that and now find themselves with a nice 6-game lead with 19 to go. But like I said, there's still 3 head-to-head matchups. If for some reason the Blue Jays take all 3 of those games, you're looking at a completely different situation. So I think for people saying, oh, the division's over, it's not. But I will say this. I think that the Tampa Bay Rays, that is done. I do not believe that Tampa Bay will catch the Yankees. And so now it's really just the Toronto Blue Jays. And even there, as of now, you get a nice 6-game lead. Gleyber Torres, to me, is the big story of this 2-game series. Gleyber, who I guess was breaking out of it a little bit towards the end of that Rays series over the weekend, but he's just such a better player when he's not trying to do too much and he's taking the ball to the opposite field. It's a world of difference. And Gleyber, batting in that 3-hole, with the current state of the lineup, and it does sound like Anthony Rizzo, will be returning soon. But, as of now, it's really a situation where you need to get production out of him. And Giancarlo Stanton in the 2 spot has really been a struggle, very much so. And, Aaron Judge, again, 2 more homers. Game 1 of the series was really more of a classic game. Game 2 was a pretty good one, too, but Game 1 had a lot going on. It went to extra innings. It was kind of a classic Yankee-Red Sox game at Fenway. But the pitching matchup was Garrett Cole versus Nick Pivetta. And Garrett Cole, it was a typical outing from Garrett Cole, good and bad, where, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, 4 hits, which is good, but 4 earned runs and 3 homers. I'll give him one of them. The Xander Bogaerts homer down the line and right was an unfortunate break, but still, collectively, he gives a homer to the rookie Tristan Casas and Reese McGuire gave the Yankees like a shitload of problems, which is kind of disappointing. And Reese McGuire did it last series too, so no Christian Vasquez, doesn't matter. Now Reese McGuire kind of gives the Yankees fits, but like I said, these were pretty interesting games. The Yankees have stuck with Judge, Stanton, Gleyber, Donaldson, Oswaldo Cabrera batting 5th. Like, that's not great still. Let's think about it. Judge obviously is amazing, but Stanton has really, really, really struggled. Although, hopefully the last at-bat in Game 2 can get him going. It was a nice, it was misplayed by the center fielder, but he hit it well. But he hasn't been good. Gleyber, was really good this series. Josh Donaldson, it's been a bad season offensively. And Oswaldo Cabrera, really, while I like what I've seen in the field, really good, versatile defensive player. Offensively, he's just not a major league player at this point. So, again, the lineup is still weak, but the Yankees survive and manage to win these games. The Red Sox jump out to that 2-0 lead. Tristan Casas, opposite field, 2-run homer off of Garrett Cole. And for Cole at Fenway Park, the results have been bad. They just have been. I don't even care about the 10 strikeouts. I don't even care about really the dominance other than the homers. Garrett Cole gives up a lot of home runs in general. but B, at Fenway Park. And I want to keep it to Fenway Park specifically. I don't want to shit on Cole because, look, the overall numbers are good. Let's keep this to a Fenway Park discussion. But that's still not great. I mean, this is your big time rival. We saw what he did in the wild card game last year, and the struggles are there at Boston. Absolutely. So the Red Sox are up 2-0 at this point, but the Yankees fight right back, and it's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin with a 2-run homer. Marwin Gonzalez is right now the Yankee first baseman until Anthony Rizzo returns, which should happen either at Milwaukee this weekend or home against Pittsburgh next week. So within 2 to 3 games, maybe within 2 to 4 games, Anthony Rizzo should be back, which would be great. But for now, Marwin Gonzalez hits a 2-run homer, ties it up at 2. But then, unfortunately, Reese McGuire hits his first homer as a Red Sox, and that makes it 3-2. So the Red Sox regain the lead just like that. And, Cole settles in, and Pivetta as well. But in the top of the 6th, Aaron Judge does it again. It's his 56th homer. It's an opposite field homer to right center, and he ties the game up at 3. So not only is Judge hitting homers, but he's hitting big homers, and that's a big one right there to tie it up. And that's off Pivetta. Bottom of the 6th, though, Garrett Cole, Yankees tied up. He gives it right back, and it's Xander Bogaerts, his 14th homer of the year, down the right field line. Only 330 feet or whatever, but it's a home run. And it makes it 4-3 Red Sox. So Lucas Licky comes on in the 7th, gets a couple of outs, gives up a 2-out single. Lou Trevino hits Tommy Pham, but then he gets Verdugo to line out. We go to the top of the 8th, and it's kind of somewhat perplexing that that you would pitch to Judge. And, look, the Red Sox, they're out of the playoff mix, so maybe it's a little bit of a different feel. But either way, Garrett Whitlock, the former Yankee prospect who's, really been great, gives up a home run to Aaron Judge. It's Aaron Judge's 57th home run of the season, second homer of the night, ties the game up again. And just this magical season continues for Judge. I don't even know what else to say. It's just amazing what he's done. So 4-4 at this point, and then Jonathan Loaisiga pitches a 1-2-3 8th inning, and we head to the 9th. And in the 9th, it's Clay Holmes pitching a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th. And now extra innings. And the Yankees have had their struggles in extra innings, but Jeurys Familia, the former Met, is on for the Red Sox, and this would be Familia's likely last appearance as a Boston Red Sox. He struggled, and interestingly enough, so you have a runner on second, and Aaron Hicks pinch hits for Jose Trevino. And, at the time, I didn't love that move just because, again, Trevino has been one of your clutchest hitters all season. Aaron Hicks is Aaron Hicks. But the result ends up being okay as Hicks does walk. Now you're in a weird predicament where it's first and second no out, Marwin Gonzalez is up, and Aaron Judge is on deck. You can't bunt because then they automatically will walk Judge. Obviously, you wanted Marwin to get a hit. Hell, you wanted Marwin to hit another home run. But I weirdly was kind of hoping Marwin would just strike out or maybe pop out. But of course, Marwin does the worst thing possible and grounds into a double play. That was pretty frustrating. It's almost one of those situations where I wish that I could just pass the at-bat. We'll take the out and let's move on to Judge. So now Gonzalez double play, Judge intentionally walked, and then Stanton walks. So now you got bases loaded, 2 out. Mind you, Estevan Florial pinch runs for Carlos Stanton, and it's Gleyber Torres, who, to this point, didn't have a hit on the night and has not come through in the clutch. But wow, this was, one of the clutchest hits of the season, and, for Gleyber, really a good piece of hitting, as he hits a bases-clearing double. And the fact that Florial was on first, not Stanton, that might have been another sort of shrewd move. And the Yankees take a 7-4 lead. So Gleyber Torres, big time hit. But this is Yankees at Red Sox. This is Fenway Park. This game is not close to over, and oh boy, it was not. So Clay Holmes comes back out for the 10th, and he hits Reese McGuire. And that's kind of, the thing with Clay Holmes is the control isn't quite there. And Clay Holmes, it hasn't been horrible lately, I guess, but I still don't really trust Clay Holmes. I don't. I'll say that right now. If the Yankees want to win a World Series, which there's a lot that goes into that just beyond this, but Clay Holmes I don't see Clay Holmes. I don't know. I'm not picturing it. I think that, I don't know. with him, I don't know if it's a head case situation because it could just be a straight ineffectiveness thing. But either way, he hits McGuire. But let's not shit on Holmes here because he was able to strike out Tommy Pham after he pitched a 1-2-3 ninth inning. So he strikes at Tommy Pham, and in comes Wandy Peralta because Wandy Peralta is essentially the guy that kind of cleans it up when the spots get really tough, and that's also not pretty. But I kind of Wandy is unflappable. Nothing really affects him. You can just see that. Like whereas like I in the ninth inning, like you can put Wandy in there and he can get the job done. So Verdugo does single, and so you're thinking, all right, like Yankees are going to have an epic loss here, but Wandy Peralta gets Xander Bogaerts to fly out. Then there's a key wild pitch. While Rafael Devers is up, there's a key wild pitch where Connor Wong scores. He was pinch running for McGuire, and then Verdugo moves to second. So now tying run on second, Rafael Devers up, Yankee killer. But Wandy Peralta versus Rafael Devers is advantage Wandy basically all the time. Wandy is great versus Devers, and he does it again. He strikes Devers out to end the game, and that felt pretty good. That the Yankees have had struggles at Boston. They just took a 7-4 lead, and they were close. Hey, look, Rafael Devers is one swing away from winning that ball game, but they're able to win it 7-6. You get a couple of Judge homers, like I said, the big Gleyber hit, and that was a fun win for the Yanks. Let's move to Game 2. And in Game 2, similar lineup except Miguel Andujar, who I didn't mention, he was in the starting lineup for the first game. He's out, Hicks is in, and look, I don't want to see Aaron Hicks in there, but that just is what it is. And Miguel Andujar just hasn't quite done enough when given the opportunity. Like, I like him more than Hicks, but you understand your left field options are thin. They really are. So, Hicks is in. That's the one lineup change. And it's Nestor Cortes versus Brayan Bello for the Red Sox. And Bello pitched pretty well, but Cortes continued to do what Nestor Cortes does. And it's just been an amazing season for him. His ERA is 2.7. He wins his 10th game. They're building him back up. He only threw 65 pitches. So Nestor able to get the win, goes 5+. But they're building him back up, and that's fine. As long as it still results in victories. But come playoff time, I want Nestor back to a full workload because this guy, I think I trust him more than anyone in that rotation. I really do. And that includes Garrett Cole. That includes Luis Severino. That includes, some other guys that have had some success. But Nestor Cortes, like, that's the guy. He has been so consistent. He's allowed 3 earned runs or fewer in 22 of his 25 starts. Just brilliant from Nestor. So in this one, there's no score through 4. And I want to bring up one funny moment where Devers strikes out against Cortes in the 4th inning. Cortes actually struck out the side. Bogaerts, Devers, and Martinez. And just a funky delivery by Cortes against Devers. And Devers takes such an ugly swing. It was a very funny moment. And that's just Nestor for you. He's such a fun guy to watch and an easy guy to root for. So in the 5th, Yankees take advantage of Boston miscues. And that was the key in this game. And that's been a problem for the Red Sox this season. It's a one-out era by Bogaerts as Hicks reaches. Then Judge singles, an infield single. It was actually a nice play by Bogaerts to stop the ball, but everyone's safe. Then after a Stanton strikeout, it is 1st and 2nd, 2 out for Gleyber Torres, and we here have ourselves a little league home run. It's an RBI single in the stat books, but it is a play that results in 3 runs for the Yankees. Gleyber Torres a good job, and he had 3 hits on this night. He could have had 4. There was an error in the 9th inning that could have maybe been ruled a hit. But anyway, Torres goes the opposite field. Aaron Hicks scores. And what happens is Gleyber, and I will say this, Gleyber had a couple of potential awful defensive base running blunders tonight. But he was able to avoid it by the Red Sox just not executing properly. So Gleyber base running, it's a mystery. It is. He sometimes is overly aggressive and it makes no sense. So Gleyber was caught dead, but the catcher Connor Wong tries to throw to first and he throws it away. It goes past who was the first baseman at the time? Arroyo, and so Judge scores, and Gleyber, who is the batter, comes in safely. It was a close play at the plate, but Gleyber scores, and the Yankees take a 3-0 lead. So that's the play of the game. So a little league home run for Gleyber Torres. Really amazing stuff. In the bottom of the fifth, the Red Sox do come back. There's an RBI double by Connor Wong, and that makes it 3-1. And then in the top of the sixth, the Yankees scratch another run out. As reliever Zach Kelly comes on, and Jose Trevino with an RBI double. Again, Trevino just, the numbers have dipped a bit recently, but he still gets his big hits, and that's a big one right there. Makes it 4-1 Yankees. Then Clark Schmidt comes on, and Clark Schmidt, he could be a very interesting piece out of this pen, potentially. He was amazing. In the sixth, it's that combination again. He strikes out, like we saw with Nestor in the fourth. Bogarts, Devers, J.D. Martinez all strike out. Really good stuff for Clark Schmidt. Then in the bottom of the seventh, pitches a 1-2-3 inning, 3 groundouts. So Schmidt, really good. I kind of wish that he started the eighth personally, but they go to Loizaga, and Loizaga, a lot of bad luck. Although Reese McGuire with a clean single. And again, McGuire kills the Yanks. Pham with a single. This was a bit lucky. Kind of just found the shorts in between shortstop and third. Then Verdugo grounds out. And they get the force out at third. Donaldson steps on third. They get the out there. Then Bogarts kind of just flips a single into right. Lucky sort of bloop sort of hit. And then it's an error by Marlon Gonzalez, which allows a run to score. Rafael Devers grounded to Gonzalez. He should have gotten the easy at first. Everyone's safe, and now it's 4-2. And then the other big play in this game is J.D. Martinez, as he grounds into double play, 6-4-3. But it's interesting. This was originally ruled that he was safe at first, and it would have been 4-3, first and third, 2 out. Instead, J.D. Martinez missed first base. He just missed it. He's running over there, and the first step is before the bag. The next step is over the bag. He never touched. Did a really good job by, I think, Brett Weber to kind of alert the Yankees, hey, we're going to get an out here. Because, Boone didn't see it. Mendoza didn't see it. It was a tough play to see. But a great challenge by the Yankees, and that was a really big turn of events right there. So it stays 4-2. And then at the top of the ninth, the Yankees add on one more run. Ryan Brazier is on for the Red Sox, and it's a one-out double for Giancarlo Stanton. And then Gleyber Torres reaches on a fielding error by Abraham Almonte. It was rough out there for Almonte in center. But it was hit well. A really well-hit ball by Torres. And Locastro scores. He was the pinch runner for Stanton. Yankees take a 5-2 lead. Then Clay Holmes comes on in the ninth. Got a little bit interesting. A leadoff double by Almonte. Then a couple of ground outs. A run does score. Almonte makes it 5-3. But then Reese McGuire, they finally get him out. Holmes strikes out McGuire. The Yankees win it 5-3. They sweep the 2-game set at Boston. And now have a 6-game lead over the Blue Jays in the AL East. Now the Yankees will head to Milwaukee. An interesting NL Central series. And the Brewers are 2 games out of the playoff spot. So they are still going to be very much in it. And they do have a lot of home games left. So it's really a battle between them and the Padres. So this will be a pretty interesting series. It'll be Frankie Montas versus Adrian Hauser. And that could really go either way with the way Montas has been pitching. But Adrian Hauser has not been great either. So, that could go either way. And then in game 2, it'll be Jameson Taillon, who's coming off a really good outing, and he's been a lot better lately, against Brandon Woodruff. And Brandon Woodruff, that's going to be tough. He, is definitely one of the best pitchers in baseball. But you just don't hear about him much because he's in Milwaukee. As a Yankee fan, you don't really hear much about Brandon Woodruff, but that will be a tough matchup too. Now, the one on-paper matchup that's a definite advantage for the Yankees is Game 3. Garrett Cole versus Jason Alexander. So, I like to do this, even though, who knows what happens. But you want to win that Game 3, Cole versus Alexander, and somehow split the first 2. Montas versus Hauser, and then Taillon versus Woodruff. I guess I would say that Game 1 is maybe your more likely possibility with Woodruff being on the mound in Game 2. But again, would really love for the Yankees to win 2 out of 3. If they only take 1 out of 3, let's just say, not the end of the world. But I really just want to keep this good momentum going because the Yankees, they're winning series again. It's been a good run for the Yanks, and now their record is 87-56, and we'll see what happens. But the Yankees should be getting some reinforcements. Some you want, some you don't want. Like Aroldis Chapman's returning on Friday. Not really excited about that one, but you might see Rizzo by the end of the series. Then next week, I think a lot of guys might be coming back. Harrison Bader might be making his Yankee debut. I think guys like Zach Efros are on the mend. Luis Severino's not too far behind. We'll see about DJ LeMahieu. Like, maybe he's back next week, maybe not. But again, Yankees will be getting healthier, and that'll be good to see. So again, Yankees with a fun 2-game series sweep at Fenway versus the Boston Red Sox.